Welcome everyone to the SFL preseason matchup here between the Indianapolis Red Devils as they visit the Mexico City Aztecs at Estadio Azteca Coliseum or Stadium or whatever you want to call this ballpark here. But I am excited. I have my color play-by-play analyst here with me, Mr. Marcus Dunhill. Marcus, how are you doing today? And tell me, what are your tales of the take, and what is the outcome that you have for this game?
Doing good. Thank you so much for the introduction. I think it's going to be a preseason game we'll watch. You have Indianapolis, who just picked up Tom Pepper in the offseason from Vancouver, seeing how he does with this new offense, as well as Mexico City, who won the championship in Season 9, is looking to in Season 10 to Alaska in the playoffs. So I'm excited to see these two teams wage war.
I agree with you there, Marcus. Ready to see both of these guys here, both of these teams go at it. And I know that James Richardson and Ramos, Lynn has been just waiting for this moment here and getting themselves ready and prepared for this preseason game here in the SFL as we get ready to start this game here. We have seen some great games thus far here in the preseason as we're 1 week away from opening day here in the SFL, and here we have the the Indianapolis Red Devils ready to kick the ball away. And there's the kick, and here's the return. There's a spin move, another spin, and he's out to the 50, the 40, and I don't think he's going to be caught as he's going to walk and strut himself into the end zone. Touchdown for the Aztecs.
Quite the return there. Looks like it was Jeffrey Daggs who made the return. He caught the ball. It's a big group of people in the middle. Really good spin move. Made two people miss on the same spin. Made a second spin. Made the third person miss. Once he got that, he was free and all the way in.
You're absolutely right there, Marcus. And I think that the Aztecs may be looking at making Daggs a second a second running back or so behind Ray Bentley if he continues to run like that. Opening kickoff here in this matchup, and there's a kick return for 6 for Jeffrey Daggs.
That's definitely the most explosive start we've had to a playoff preseason game yet.
I have to say that I agree with you. And here's Cole Varner here getting ready for the extra point, and there's the snap. The kick is up, and the extra point is good. And there you have it, 7-0. With only 13 seconds off of the clock here in the this opening of this preseason game between the Aztecs and the Red Devils. Oh man, that just blew my mind. Opening kickoff, and there's a return for 6 for the Aztecs, and I'm still my heart is just racing over here. If I had my smartwatch on, I could tell you how many beats per second is going. And there's the kick here by Varner. And there's a return out to the 23-yard line there for the Red Devils as they prepare to bring themselves out onto the field here. And their new general, Tom Pepper, as you stated, is ready to gather the troops. And there's the handoff here for the Red Devils, and he picks up 3 yards on the carry there. And the running back on the play. It's Keith Swearinger, 6'1", 245 pounds. That's a big guy coming at you in the middle of the coming through the middle of the field there. Hey Marcus, are you still with me?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. And here's Tom Peppers. Looks like he's calling an audible here. 2 wide receivers in an I formation. 1 tight end here on the play. There's a 3-step drop. No, it's a draw play here to Swearinger, and he's tackled for a yard loss there.
It's a good way to start the game. Test the run, see how far you can move the ball. Moved it forward, then moved it back. Probably need to look at maybe passing it. Probably not going to pick up 9 yards on a run on this play. Yeah, and there was Dorian Lopez there, 6'7", 328-pound defensive lineman on that tackle. 4 wide receiver set here for the Red Devils with the tight end, and he's going deep downfield, and that pass is tipped. It looks like Jeff Daggs, the man who had the kick return on that deflection. Yep, tried to just put it over On the top of the defenders into the receiver, but Diggs is able to go up and get it before he even got close to the receiver.
Yeah, that was a great play there by the defensive back there. Dags coming away with that deflection. If not, that would be a reception for the Red Devils. And they're 3 and out here, and they're getting ready to set the punt. Bring in the punter, Ashley Finch. And there's a return here by Dags. One spin move, but he's nothing doing here as he stops at the Mexico City 41-yard line. And the man on that tackle there would have to be Ashley Rose Finch, free safety for the Red Devils. What are you expecting for the Aztecs here on this drive, Marcus?
Well, they have Ray Bentley in a running back, so I would expect some good running out of this team.
Now, I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing wrong with heavy dosage of Ray Bentley coming at you. 3 wide receivers set, an offset formation. There's a 5-step drop here by Wilson, and pass is caught here by the receiver. And that is Misa Jaros. Is that correctly? Correct me if I'm wrong, Marcus, on that pronunciation there. But what a play here by the former MVP, Matt Wilson, and Super Bowl MVP, SFL Championship MVP as well. 3 wide receivers set, and looks like there's a tight end at the top of the field. Single back formation is Ray Bentley. He's staying in the block, and strike across the middle of the field, and there's a reception here for the Aztecs, and he's brought down by the defender of the Red Devils. And on that play there was Misael Lopez. Was it Mike Dags? Okay, I'm showing
83.
I'm showing 2 83s here, tight end and a receiver. Okay, looks like there was Mike Dags there. All right, and looks like a single back formation, ace formation that is. 2 tight ends in on the play as well. There's a handoff to Ray Bentley with his first carry of the game, picking up 3 yards there. 2nd and 7 for the Aztecs.
Good start with running the ball, great start with throwing the ball. Looks like they're going for a bit of a balanced offense here to move the ball down the field.
Awesome. You're absolutely right about that. 2nd and 7 here for the Aztecs. They're in a 3 wide receiver formation in an offset. 1 tight end to the top. There's another handoff here to Ray Bentley. See if he can get it going. And no, he looks like he only picks up 1 yard on that play and is brought down by a host of Red Devils.
3rd and 6, they come to the point where they kind of have to decide whether they're going to trust Ray Bentley to pick up 6 yards or whether or not they're going to go out and throw the ball again.
Well, I tell you one thing, if it was me, I wouldn't try to bet on Ray Bentley for picking up 3 yards on 3rd and 6, but I would rather go to the area because I have Matt Wilson under the center. And there's a strike. Oh, and it deflected and almost picked off by the nickel corner. Or was he on the outside corner playing in the nickel slot? That would have to be.
So that was Ashley Rose Finch.
Yeah, absolutely right. There was Finch there on the deflection, and I thought that was pick.
Yeah, it was a tough throw over the middle, but hoping that his receiver would be able to make it. But instead, there was a defender. So now they're going to have to go for that field goal.
Unfortunately, so for Mexico City, it looks like this is going to be a 42-yard field goal here. No, make that 47. And there's a snap. Kick is up. Look like it's right down the middle, and it is good. 44-yard field goal. I was off by 2 yards. And Mexico City, Marcus jumps up 10-0 here over the Indianapolis Red Devils. Do you think that the Red Devils have enough defense to stop Mexico City and enough offensive firepower to get back in this game?
We'll have to see. I mean, the special teams for Mexico City did a great job getting them that lead. So instead of that field goal making it 3-0, it makes it 10-0. So they have a great advantage over the start of the game.
Yes, sir. Absolutely right. And here's the Mexico City getting once again ready for the kick. And the kick is up in the air here, Marcus. And I'll say, man, the Red Devils have to get it going here on this drive here in the first quarter, unless Mexico City is going to run away with this game. And he's tackled and brought down at the 22-yard line of the Red Devils. Red Devils are in the black hat, gray striping, red strip with the white jerseys and black pants. Aztecs are all black. I mean, what can I say about that one? It's just all black, just black out on their uniform selections here today. And three wide receivers, a tight end, no tight end, and two tight end is in the backfield. And there's a shotgun handoff here to the halfback. Swearingen is the ball carrier there, and he's tackled for your loss, Marcus.
You know, you had a couple of people who were going after the quarterback, so it looked like maybe that running back would be able to take the edge and get around. But the defenders were able to catch up to him and tackle him.
Yeah, that was great defense there by the Aztecs to sniff that out and notice that they were going for that shotgun sweep. That shotgun sweep or any run out of the shotgun is very difficult to come by. And there's a 5-step drop here by Peppers, going deep, taking a chance, and he got a reception. 1st and 10 for the Red Devils. And bringing in that reception there was...
Let's take a look. So that reception...
Looks like I couldn't see the name on the... Was it Razor or Sharp?
Yeah, we have looks like there are two tight ends who are 85. So is Razor or Sharp? Both
split back formation here for Time Peppers, and he's changing the play. He must see something that the defense is bringing that he don't like, or that he can change the play to something he does like. And there's a handoff here to Swearinger, and there's a missed tackle and another missed tackle, and he brought down at the 33-yard line. What do you think about that play, Marcus?
I thought it was a good run. You know, one of the things you have to do is not get discouraged if you're having trouble running the ball, because if you just trust your running back, let them find the open lanes, get to the outside, and then try to outrun the defenders. And you see he did a great job getting out to the outside and moving as far downfield as he could.
Absolutely correct there, and he followed his blockers. That was one. You know, he showed great poise and not rushing the run and allowing the play to open and develop for himself. Another split back formation here for the Red Devils. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the field. There's a tight end to the top. There's a 2-step drop here by Peppers. Swing pass here to Swearingen, and he picks up 4 yards on the reception.
That was definitely a good pass. It looked like maybe one of his teammates probably could have thrown a little bit better of a block there and let him get a couple more yards. But, you know, a few yards on 1st down makes it manageable, allows you to move a little bit closer to that 1st down marker.
Yeah, it looks like there was a man down on the field. It looks like he's going to be out with cramps. Questionable as far as he would come back or not. And here's another handoff to Swearingen. There's another man missed, and he tried to run one over, but Dag said, "Not today, sir."
Great run, making it all the way close to the 1st down marker. Looked like he tried to power through a little bit to get to that 1st down marker, but wasn't able to.
Yeah, you just have to understand that Jeffrey Daggs is a veteran here in this league who's been around for quite a few seasons, and one thing he knows how to do, and that's how to bring a man down. 2 wide receiver set, 1 tight end to the bottom of the field. Split back formation here for the Red Devils, and there's another handoff to Swearingen. He's hit pop right behind the line of scrimmage, and he loses a yard. 4th and 3. Red Devils have to settle for a field goal.
You know, I think that was still a good decision by them, even though they didn't make it. You know, their running back has shown he has power and can make those runs. It just didn't work out that time, but it was probably not a bad decision to try that run and see how far they can get.
Yeah, the Red Devils here have to settle for 3. Great defensive stand here by the Mexico City Aztecs. And waiting for the snapper, and there's the snap. The kick is up. And waiting for the official signal, and the 42-yarder is good for the Red Devils. And they're on the board, showing that they can put points on the board here in the 1st quarter as well as Mexico City. Adam Vanchek with the field goal straight down the uprights.
So that'll narrow the gap. However, now they need to make sure that their defense can step up and stop Mexico City, give them the ball back, and let them tie up the game.
Yeah, and one thing here, Mark, is that everyone in the chats is saying that you sound like a vet on the air, buddy. So you ought to feel good about yourself. And just to let everyone know out there in the chats and who's watching us live for the first time that these 2 teams are not playing with their created playbooks that the coaches and owners normally presents to the league. They're using generic playbooks here to start in this preseason game. For all coaches and owners out there who has not turned in your playbooks, they are due July the 6th, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Matt Wilson on the call underneath the snap. He's calling for an audible. I formation, 2 tight ends. Sorry about that. One tight end. He does have two tight ends. And there's a pitch. And Ray Bentley is hit for a 5-yard loss. Marcus, how many times have you seen that done before?
For Ray Bentley, that's usually not the case. Usually Ray Bentley's going pretty far in the other direction, but it looks like they just got around the edge and the defenders could get to him before he could get to the outside.
Yes, sir. If you would see on that play there that the fullback wasn't able to get out front of Ray and pick up that outside backer who came streaking in. And here's a 3-step drop here by Wilson going across the middle of the field, and that is deflected by Boss Franklin. That is on the deflection there, number 31 for the Red Devils.
Good play over the middle. It looked like Bentley came up and tried to take a blocker to buy try to buy Matt Wilson a little bit more time, but wasn't enough time to be able to make that throw.
4 wide receiver set here for Wilson in the shotgun. Bentley to his right. Calling the signal. There's a 3-step drop here by Wilson. He's going deep across the middle of the field, and that is intercepted by the Red Devils. And he's going for 6. Touchdown by number 25, Paul Blake, the free safety for the Red Devils. Awesome play by making guys miss. Call it on the replay, Marcus.
So you have to be careful when you're the quarterback because you have to make that throw, over 10 yards to be able to get that receiver to get it. However, he underthrew it just a little bit, which allowed him to get it. And when, the defender grabbed that ball, there was just daylight in front of him, so he was gone.
Yeah, if you can also see on that replay that the defensive back was hiding behind the receiver, and Blake just jumped right in front of him and just took it and just ran the opposite way and ran like his life depended upon it. And here's the Red Devils here preparing for the kick. Vanchek with the kick is up, and it's good. And hey, we have a 10-10 ball game, Dunhill.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had said, at the start of the last drive. I said, make sure their defense can get that ball back, give them a chance to tie it up, and now kick it back over and let Mexico City respond. Yeah,
Red Devils coming out, showing that they can play defense and move the ball downfield as well. Great defensive touchdown there. The Red Devils needed that. Now the Aztecs here has to come back on offense and make sure that they're a little bit more sharper than what they was. And there's Jeff Daggs again out to the 35-yard line with his normal spin move, as he likes to put on guys coming out of this in return.
He was about one more spin away from being gone again. There wasn't a whole lot of defenders in front of him.
You're absolutely right. I think if he gets that last spin, he's heading to the house once more. And let's be honest here, that the Aztecs has not put up 6 on the board. That 6 points that they have coming from the touchdown came from Jeff Daggs on the opening kickoff. And 43 defense here for the Red Devils as the Aztecs is in a single back. And Ray Bentley is stopped behind the line of scrimmage again for a 3-yard loss. This time being met by the outside linebacker, Thad Castle, 6'4", 240-pounder.
They made a really good job just getting behind the line and to the running back before he could even make it back to the line of scrimmage.
And my apologies, it wasn't Thad Castle. It was number 54, Chester Field, on the tackle. My apologies on that. I thought he was the outside linebacker. Single back formation, looks like ace, and there's another swing here to Ray Bentley. Picks up 2 yards, and Ray is not able to get any type of block from his front off O-line here to get things going. But as we know that Ray will eventually start running people over later on.
If you need to trust a running back, you need to trust Ray Bentley. He made it to the Pro Bowl for a reason. So, they're just hoping if they give him enough runs, he'll be able to make it through.
I must say that I totally agree with you, sir. As shotgun formation here for the Aztecs, and no running backs in the backfield with Wilson. Wilson going to the outside corner, overthrew his man, incomplete. And that pass was intended for the receiver, Hyros, who just came up short of catching that pass there from Wilson. And Wilson ought to be slapping himself for overthrowing the ball. I know he's kicking himself in the rear end.
He overthrew the ball a little bit, but he also had time in the pocket. He had the defenders on the line blitzing him, but that was it. He could have taken his time and threw that a little bit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that for cutting you off. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He had time. He could have let the play develop. It looks like he rushed it. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
And here's the return here for the Red Devils, and only got 2 yards there on the return. And that was... I'm sorry?
Sorry. I said it's always a question when you receive a punt whether or not you want to go for a fair catch or try to move the ball. You run the risk of getting hit so close to when you receive the ball that you may potentially fumble. It looks like they're trying to take those risks to see if they can break something big.
And I'll tell you one thing, that's something that you don't want to do, and that's muff a punt. You know, you would get snatched out of the game real fast. 3 wide receivers set here for Peppers. 2 backs in the backfield. And Peppers on a 3-step drop, throws an out route here to the top of the field to his receiver. And looks like that is brought in, picks up 3 yards on the play. And that is John Hamill, the wide receiver here for the Red Devils.
It's always tough when you go to those outside throws because sometimes, like this situation, the receiver had so much momentum it brought him to the outside, all the way to the sideline. Sometimes, you have to be able to stop, catch that ball, and then turn and move back upfield. But he just had too much momentum going with him.
You're absolutely correct. Throwing that out route is very, very, hard to throw. If you put too much on it and leading the receiver, you can absolutely, lead him out of bounds because of the momentum, as you stated, that he's gathering to trying to catch up to that pass. And looks like there was a 2-yard gain there on the second down that we pretty much missed. And here's the Aztecs fans here calling for the defense to make some noise. Empty formation here for Peppers. Strike across the middle of the field, and there's a deflection. That pass is tipped and intercepted. Pablo Zamora, the strong safety, who has been having some outstanding seasons here in the SFL. Go ahead and take it away, Marcus.
Sure. So the catch came in. The throw was, there was a defender who was able to block the ball from getting caught by the wide receiver, and then that went straight to the defender, and he was able to pull it in. So it was a good reception thanks to his teammate deflecting the ball.
Yeah, great play there by Zamora. Zamora, I believe, led the league in INTs. I think it was his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. Guy has been playing some phenomenal ball back there at the strong safety spot for the Aztecs. Single back formation looks like ace bunch here for the Aztecs, and Ray Bentley gets the handoff and nothing doing. Tackle for a 2-yard loss. Coming up with that tackle is Paul Connolly, 6'3", 220 pounds, strong safety. That's a big guy.
That interception on the previous play shows you why defenders need to keep an eye on the ball, whether or not it's going towards them or not, because, they can always make a play if the ball ends up in their direction. Yep,
I totally agree. 4 wide receiver set here for the Aztecs. Ray Bentley is in the backfield by his lonesome. Throws a swing pass here to Bentley. He runs backwards and only gains a yard on that swing pass. Not sure as of what's going on with Ray Bentley here today. Maybe he has some type of injury that the Aztecs haven't reported to the league or so, but he just doesn't seem like himself.
They're just trying everything they can to get him going. They've tried the runs, now they're trying the throws. They know that Bentley is a big part, a big weapon in their offense, and for them to succeed, they need him, functioning on all cylinders.
Yes, sir. 3 wide receivers to the top of the field, 1 to the bottom down here, and Ray Bentley's in the back all by himself. There's a 7-step drop here by Wilson. Out route up to the top of the field, and that pass is caught, but it's not enough to get the first down. And that pass is brought in by Richard Montague, the wide receiver there for the Aztecs. Great catch, but you got to get past the sticks. I think Ray Bentley just took what he could. Not Ray Bentley, I'm sorry. Matt Wilson just took what the defense gave him on that possession.
You have to be careful when you throw short of the first down marker on 3rd down. But they were hoping he'd be able to get the ball. Maybe the defender would miss and he'd be able to catch up those extra 4 yards to make it to the first down marker.
And there's the punt. That punt was almost blocked there by the Red Devils special teams. And now the Red Devils comes out and they have a chance to steal the momentum in this game as Tom Peppers comes in to rally the troops. And there's the end of the first quarter, people. You're watching the SFL by APM Radio. I'm sorry, APM Music.
APM Music.
Sorry about that. I was thinking about XFM Radio. Sorry about that. I formation here for the Red Devils. 2 tight ends set. 1 receiver to the top. Peppers calling the signal. There's a 2-step drop. Out route to the top of the field. And Connolly comes away with the reception. I'm sorry, Daly that is. Comes away with the reception. Picks up 3 on the reception.
that shows you how you can do a good job catching the ball, turning back upfield, and being ready to go towards the first down. However, there's a defender right in his face, so he got stopped very quickly. But if that defender had not been that close to him, he probably could have made it down to the first down marker.
Yep, 2 wide receivers here to the bottom of the field. And Swearingen to the end of the backfield by himself. And there's a pass right across the middle of the field. Looks like Eli McCormick coming away with that reception. Take a look at this at vitals. He's 6'5", 225 pounds. That dude sounds like he could be kin to Calvin Johnson.
Looks like they're moving the ball a little bit closer to the line, just seeing if they could maybe get the running back within range, or see if they want to throw it again for 3 yards.
Let's see. Yep, 3rd and 3. It looks like he dove for that first down. It looks like he got it to me, but the ref is calling it 4th and inches. I think that they should challenge this, because if you ask me, he dove across that first down line.
It looks like he dove across, but his knee might have touched before he got to the line, but we'll find out here as they challenge the play.
Yeah, there's James Richards on the challenge here.
I figured, if they were throwing it short on 2nd down, they were probably trying to set up the run on 3rd down. So the question is, did his knee touch before the ball went across the line?
It
looks like he might have.
It's close. Oh, that's first down.
It looks like he's on the line. Yep.
Yeah, look, you got to give that to him.
See what the ref says.
And looks like he's calling it a no-go. And Indianapolis has charged a timeout on that challenge there. Oh, man, I hope this doesn't come back to hunt the Red Devils, because I think that was a bogus call by the ref. If you ask me here up in the booth, I say that he got the first down.
Still plenty of football left, and one call by the ref's not going to make or break this game.
Exactly. You're absolutely right there, sir. There's a return there by Daggs, and Daggs is nothing doing. Tackled and brought down after he tried to make a man miss or two. And here comes the Aztecs. Let's see if they can get this thing going here on the offensive end. Matt Wilson has just not been productive so far in this game.
4 for 7, 34 yards.
There you go. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Neither quarterback so far has produced a ton of passing yards in this game.
Exactly. Ace formation, and Ray Bentley's in the backfield all by himself. And here's a handoff here to Ray, coming down to the bottom of the field, makes a man miss, breaks 1 tackle, picks up 8. That's his best run of the day, Marcus.
See, that's why they keep running Ray Bentley, even though he was getting tackled behind the line earlier in the game. Eventually, he's going to start warming up. He's going to start breaking these runs, and that's exactly what you need. And even if it takes him the entire first quarter to get there, then you have 3 quarters of Ray Bentley's running at its finest.
Yes, sir. He must have just had the preseason jitters at first. And I formation, 2-step drive by Wilson, throws to the fullback, or is that Ray? Looks like the fullback to me. I couldn't see if it was Ray Bentley. I don't think it was. Yeah, that was the fullback. And
good pickup on the play. He thought he could go further to the outside to avoid the to the defender. Unfortunately, that gave the defender extra time to catch up to him. I think if he would have kept going straight for the line as soon as he caught it, I think he would have been able to make it.
Correct. Tarver, the fullback, picks up 1 yard on the swing pass. I formation here. Here's a pitch here to Ray Bentley. He breaks a tackle. He's up down the sideline and makes another man miss. And he's brought down to the 7-yard line. Ray Bentley, Marcus, you called it. Only thing he needed was just to get the game going, and he was going to start breaking tackles.
That was an amazing run. So let's see exactly what happened. So, yeah, he broke a tackle, broke 2, and made it all the way down to the end. That was quite a run. That brings Ray Bentley up to 46 yards, so it looks like that was a 42-yard run.
And guess who ran down and caught the guy? Chester Field, the defensive end. Talk about not giving up on a play as a defensive end. Offset formation here for the Aztecs. Here's another handoff to Bentley up the middle of the field. Picks up another 4 yards. 2nd and goal for the Aztecs. Bentley, 5.9 yards per carry, 53 yards. 45 was his longest of the day.
He just had, some of his best run, and he's already up to, 5.9 yards a carry, which is a really respectable amount, and I'd expect him to keep getting carries, and I think we've only seen the beginning of what Ray Bentley's going to do in this game.
Yeah, I must say that I agree with you on that one. Single back, there's another pitch to Ray Bentley, and he's tackled in the backfield, losing a yard there on the play.
defenders were able to get to Ray Bentley behind the line and stopped him. He wasn't able to shed those defenders. But now they have an interesting decision on whether they try to run it again or throw it to the end zone because they don't want to have to settle for 3 unless they have to.
Yeah, give it up for Boss Franklin, the non-contract cornerback, coming up to make that tackle. Two-step drop here by Wilson, goes to Bentley to the bottom of the field, and Bentley's in then for the end zone. Touchdown Aztecs, putting up 6 on the board.
When you have somebody as good as Ray Bentley is as a running back, you know what they say, in crunch time, you need playmakers. That's who you go to. You go to your best players in times of need, hoping that they'll go for it and make the best out of their opportunities. And that pass, that screen pass to the outside was all Ray Bentley needed. There wasn't anybody around him. He was able to get straight into the end zone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that brings Ray Bentley over 50 yards for the day.
And here's Varner here set for his second extra point kick of the day. 4 seconds left on the play clock. There's the snap. Kick is up straight down the middle, and that kick is good. Aztecs 17, the Red Devils 10. Here in the second quarter, 7 minutes and 18 seconds left in the quarter. And I'm your play-by-play commentator, Damon Simeon, here with Marcus Dunhill calling the color. Marcus, this is your first call here. How are you doing so? How are you feeling so far?
I'm feeling good. It's a really interesting game. The teams kind of keep going back and forth. You see really good moments out of both defenses and offenses. It wasn't, one team running all over the other. So I think we got quite an interesting game here on our hands.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And there's the return there by Daly for the Red Devils out to the 24-yard line. And let's see if the Red Devils can get it going here on the offensive side. Tom Pepper's in the huddle calling the play.
So Tom Pepper is currently 5 for 7 with 31 yards, and Swearingen is 8 rushes for 34 yards.
3 wide receivers set here. Single back formation here for the Red Devils. Pepper's calling the signal. There's a 7-step drop. Man, did he drop deep going across the middle of the field. He got a man open and caught. What a throw and catch. Pablo Zamora with the tackle, but we're not interested in that. Razar is the guy on the reception, the big tight end here. And look, he just gets inside of the safety there, and
he got into an open space in the field where Pepper could get him the ball, and nobody was there to even defend the ball. All you have to do is be able to catch it, make sure you can hold on to the ball, because it doesn't matter what happens after you catch the ball. Once you got those yards, you're good to go.
Yes, sir, absolutely correct. And if you ask me, it looks like he was playing just like playing basketball, finding a sweet spot on the offensive end and getting into that 3-2 zone. And here's a handoff here to Swearingen, and picks up 9 yards on the carry.
Great run. You want to make sure you stay balanced on your offense. You've thrown a lot. You just picked up a lot on the pass. So then test their running defenses, and it looks like they weren't quite ready for it, and he was able to get 9.
Yep, and Swearingen picks up 9 there on the play, as I stated, and the the Red Devils are now on the other side of the field to 50, inside of Aztec territory at the Mexico City 42-yard line. Here's a sweep here to Swearingen, and he's stuffed and stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
So now we're at 3rd and 4, and it comes to whether or not you think you want to try to get your running back to pick up those 4 yards, or whether you trust Tom Pepper to throw that and see if he can find it'll open in space and pick up the first down.
3rd and 4 here for the Red Devils. I formation. 1 receiver in. Looks like Daly. Down here to the bottom, 2 tight ends. And there's a 3-step drop here by Peppers. Looking. Swearingen, nothing doing. Loses 2 yards. And the Aztecs comes up big on the defensive end.
Looks like Pepper didn't like what he saw downfield and thought he had a better chance by letting his running back try to make some plays in the backfield, see if he could make it out the 4 yards. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to, so it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, and the Red Devils get ready to set to punt the ball back to the Aztecs. And there's the kick. And looks like Daggs is not going to bring it on return. He's going to let it bounce and roll into the end zone.
That's very close. It's very risky not to pick up the ball and let it bounce to the end zone because they were so close to being put at the 1-yard line. Yeah,
that was a great kick there. And unfortunately, the special teams for the Red Devils was unable to get downfield quick enough to get that and stop it at the 1 or so, or inside the 5. Matt Wilson here with 3 wide receivers. 2 backs in the shotgun with him, and Matt is calling signals, and there's a snap. It was a high snap there, almost lost it, and there's an out pass, picks up 3 yards. What a catch. Toe drag swag, that is, by the receiver.
Be very careful when you take those catches, because those are the types of passes that are very important to your team to make sure you pick up some yards. However, you have to be really good at making sure you keep your feet in bounds.
A great catch there by Richard Montega on that reception. Matt Wilson back in the shotgun once again, and that's one thing here about Mexico City. They love the shotgun. 3 wide receivers set here for Wilson. Montega to the top of the field. 3-step drop. Wilson throws another out route pass to Montega. Caught, picks up another gain of yards, and it's 3rd and 2 here for the Aztecs.
You know, they were able to go to him once, so they figured out to go to him again. However, you know, Indianapolis had to defend it. Yeah, Indianapolis had a defender that made it all the way back into the backfield, so he didn't have a lot of time. He had to get rid of that ball.
Exactly, and this time Wilson is underneath the center. Single back formation. Looks like 2 receivers to the bottom of the field. There's a swing pass here to Bentley, and Bentley is stopped with a 3-yard loss. Bentley is tackled and brought down by a host of Red Devils. Looks like number 50 got to him first, and that is outside linebacker Blake Coate coming up on the tackle.
When Bentley caught that ball, he was only being defended by 1 receiver, so they're hoping they'd get past him, past that defender into the line of the first down, but he wasn't able to make it.
And there's the punt here by the Aztecs. And there's the return here by Daly, and he makes a man miss and picks up a few yards there, but brought down by a host of Aztecs.
Time for Tom Pepper to respond and see, you know, if he can take his team to the end zone. You know, you're looking at only 3 minutes and 54 seconds left in the half.
3-4 defense here for the Aztecs. Looks like they're bringing blitz to the bottom of the field by the outside linebacker. Single back formation here for the Red Devils, and there's a handoff to Swingerton picks up no yards on the game. Swearingen
game going, looks like Mexico City.
Yeah, it's Swearingen is the name here on the roster. They have Swearinger, and that's why I keep placing the R in there. My apologies. Another handoff here to Swearingen, and nothing doing. Loss of 2 yards this time. This Aztec defense, man, is playing some outstanding defense on the outside. There's nowhere for the Red Devils to go when running the ball outside.
You know, going, you can try the best you can to get it going, but you don't want to run too long where you put yourself in a hole, and you want to let those receivers start making plays.
3-step drop here by Peppers. Great catch here by the Red Devils. Swearingen once again on that reception. Man!
So they brought the halfback in to do that play there. They matched up all their receivers, and then they thought, hey, let's bring out our running back and see if he can be non-contested over the middle of the field, and they were able to get that first down. So maybe they should look to throw to him a little bit more than running to him in this particular game. Yeah,
that was a great catch there by Keith. Great catch. And Tom Peppers is calling audible here in the single back pair. There's a sweep here to Swearingen, and nothing doing. Tackle by Zamora.
The Mexico City run defense has really been doing a good job. They've kept Swearingen under 40 yards so far, at about 35 right now. So they're doing a great job on the run defense.
Yeah, they're doing great here by the Mexico City as a defense. Offset formation here for the Red Devils, and there we at the 2-minute warning, people. 2nd and 13 for the Red Devils. Can they march downfield to tie this game up within the last 2 minutes?
They need to be careful of the clock, because if they have a big play, that's going to give Mexico City time to respond. So they want to make sure they move up the field but take the clock down so that they don't leave Mexico City enough time to come back.
43 defense here for the Aztecs, and looks like they're bringing blitz up the middle of the field, and there's a handoff here to Keith Swearingen, and nothing doing. Swearigan loses another yard. Brought down by, can't see that name. Is it Brown? Yeah, Jack Brown, that is, the outside linebacker. All 6'5", 254 pounds of them jump onto the back of the running back to bring him down. 4 wide receiver set here for the Red Devils. That's a 5-step drop here by Time Peppers. He takes a read and drop pass across the middle of the field. Unfortunately, the receiver was unable to bring that pass in.
Looks like that was Eli McCormick.
How could you drop that wide open pass? He must have thought Zamora was right behind him to lay him out or something. But he's a big guy himself.
Yep, you just need to keep your eye on the ball and do your best to make sure you can catch those passes because you need to keep moving that ball down the field.
You're absolutely right, Marcus. Or maybe he had a Randy Moss syndrome who said that I'm not going to catch the ball when it's thrown to me across the middle of the field. And there's a snap here for the punt. And Dags has room to make a move and spins and tackled and brought down at the 13-yard line of Mexico City. 1 minute and 24 seconds left here in the second quarter. There's a look at Matt Wilson.
So there's still enough time for Bentley to make some runs. You know, you don't want to run too much. You're going to take too much of the clock down and not be able to get into field goal range. But they also have all 3 of their timeouts left, so they should be good to go. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, Marcus. And there's an offsides here by the defense and handoff. Handoff to Ray Bentley, and Ray Bentley goes nowhere, but looks like Mexico City is going to pick up 5 for encroachment.
It's nice when you're throwing on those plays when you have a free play, because then you can take a shot 20, 30 yards down the field, and if you're able to make it, you don't decline the penalty, but they were already committed to a run. So
yeah, totally agree. Yeah, so it was no need for them even to call out of it, you know, and try to do that, but I totally agree with you. It's always best when you get an encroachment to go deep downfield to see if you can take a big shot. Mexico City comes out in an I formation. Bunch, 2 tight ends on the play, 1 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Matt Wilson calling signal. Looks like Indianapolis is bringing blitz on the outside, and there's a handoff to Ray Bentley, and he's stopped in the backfield.
You know, that's a good option to blitz to make sure you can stop them here. But that can easily backfire on you. If he could get to the outside or get past the defenders, then there's not a lot of people, out in the field that can go get him.
I wonder if Ray Bentley is wondering how in the world did he allow Allen Washington, 5'10", 185-pounder, bring him down. Split back formation here for Mexico City. There's another handoff here to Ray Bentley, and makes a man miss, and he's tackled and brought down at the 20. 3rd and 3, 45 seconds left. Looks like Mexico City just want to run the ball down, milk the clock, and just go into the locker room with the 7-point lead, Marcus.
That's always a good option. You can always play it safe, especially when you have the lead. You don't want to throw an interception and set them up for a field goal or worse. So, maybe Ray Bentley will break a play and you can get a field goal. Otherwise, you'll just take the clock and take your points and go into the locker room.
Linebackers are shifting right here for the Red Devils. Wilson take a shot downfield. That pass is deflected. The receiver is hit hard. Looks like K.L. Barrett almost had to catch, but he was laid out, man.
That's exactly why you have to be careful this close. If that would have been an interception, that would have set to Indianapolis up for a field goal with 10 seconds left, but they would have had time to take 1 or 2 shots at the end zone.
Yeah. And here is the Aztecs set and ready to punt this thing away. 17 seconds left in this game. And here's the return. Tries a spin, nothing doing, brought down. 10 seconds left. Let's see if the Red Devils will just take a knee or maybe just hand it off to Swearigan.
I'm going to say they're going to go out and throw it. I mean, they got 2 timeouts left. If they can get it 20 yards down the field, they can try to field goal.
You think so?
We'll see what happens. That's what I would do anyway. You got 10 seconds on the clock. Why not try to get points? You're only about 20 yards away.
Split back formation, and Peppers take a 3-step drop going across the middle of the field to his intended receiver, who dropped the pass on the last possession that they had, Eli McCormick. And there's a timeout here by the Red Devils. The Red Devils have 1 timeout left, 3 seconds. You think they should come out and Hail Mary or what?
That's what I would do. I'm always the aggressive type. You know, they got 3 seconds. As long as they don't throw an interception, it doesn't come back the other way, they should be good to go. I mean, you know, they've made some really good throws and catches so far. Give them one try, 3 seconds straight to the end zone.
And you're right. They do come out Hail Mary formation. 4 wide receivers here to the bottom of the field and a tight end to the top. If you ask me, I would call this the Okey-Oke from the hit movie. Then Peppers goes deep. I couldn't even get it out. What I was trying to say, pass is deflected. Almost caught for an INT there by Zamora. I'm lost with words as far as what I was going to say. But Marcus, what is your take on the first half?
I think both teams have been fighting extremely well. You've seen the Aztecs take that lead, but you also seen the Red Devils playing well too. You know, it hasn't been one side completely beating down on the other. You know, both teams have had some of their issues with throwing the ball and some of their issues with running the ball, but both sides are improving slowly throughout the game.
Yep, you hit it right on the nail.
Both teams are under 100 yards for both rushing and passing, so it's definitely been a defensive battle for the football.
Yeah, man. Also, as you can see, time of possession are almost right at neck and neck for that first half there of football. This has just been straight a great defensive ball game, due to respect of the points that are on the board here as well. Great defense all around, as you stated. Both running backs are under 100. Both passers are under 100 yards as well. Wondering what's going to happen in the second half here.
You know, one of the things that I'd like to highlight, because we didn't really mention it during the Hail Mary plays, the offensive line for Indianapolis did such a good job giving Tom the time to make that throw. His receiver wasn't able to make it, but he had all day to decide where he wanted to put that football. You know, all it would have taken was one Mexico City defensive player to get through, and that play would have been over as soon as it started.
Yes, sir. And here's a look here at the pick 6 here for the Red Devils. That was just such a beautiful defensive play there by Paul Blake. Here's a look at Ray Bentley doing work. And man, Ray Bentley runs so hard, dude. It's just so hard to bring this guy down. It has been like this for years with this human being. And he's known as the grown-ass man here in the SFL because he runs stretched just like one among kids out there on the field.
Ray Bentley's a Pro Bowler for a reason, so if you gotta, depend on a player, you depend on your Pro Bowl running back to, make it up the field for you. So definitely good option. Both teams have fought really well in the passing and running game, but the defenses have been playing a little bit better than those offenses.
Maurice Spurgeon in the chat is calling a 38-17 Mexico City win. Let's see if they can put up. Let's see if Maurice is correct. Let's see if his prediction comes true.
I think this game is going to be within 7.
There's the kick there by Varner. And the return is caught at the goal line here, and Daly is brought down at the 23-yard line. Let's see if Tom Peppers can show exactly what he's been working on this offseason here and see if he can get the Red Devils into the end zone.
It always takes a little bit of time to familiarize yourself with your new offense. So,
I formation here for Peppers. Tight end to the bottom of the field, and there's a handoff here to Swearinger. Picks up 9, almost 10 yards, almost gets the first down there. Great run there by Keith, straight up the middle, hard-nosed run.
One of his better, so hopefully he can keep this momentum, take that ball, and keep moving up the field.
Yeah, I mean that was a hard run there. I like to see when a running back gets hit and grabbed and he keeps his legs moving, fighting to push to get that first down. Looks like Mexico City is showing blitz here from the outside in the middle, and there's a handoff and first down here for the Red Devils. Keith trucking and moving bodies out of his way.
When you only need a yard or two, it's really good to trust your running back to go ahead and get those yards. And as you saw there, he was able to grab that, get the first down, and give Tom a new set of downs to work with.
Looks like an offset formation here for the offense. And there's a sweep pass, not sweep pass, there's a sweep run here to Keith Swearinger, and he's stopped in the backfield, losing 4 yards.
So on the day, he's definitely making his efforts, but you'll probably see them moving a little bit more towards the pass.
Yes, sir, and give credit to Daniel Garcia coming up with that tackle. If Garcia's not there, I can see Keith still running up the sideline. I formation here for the Red Devils. 1 tight end on the play. There's an out route, and there's pick 6, if you ask me, by the Aztecs. Man, he saw that thing coming. He read that play all the way, and Peppers threw it right to him.
There was a huge miscommunication between the wide receiver and Tom Pepper. Tom Pepper put the ball on the inside, hoping his wide receiver is going to go in for it, but then he went out to the outside and was not where the football went.
The crazy thing about that, Mark, is that the pass was nowhere near the receiver. Peppers threw it right to Fran Agawa. I mean, how could you do that? What were you looking at? Because he didn't have a receiver nowhere in the vicinity.
He probably thought his receiver was going to cut inwards instead of out. Just a miscommunication on the play, but a costly error to be able to make on the field.
I can totally understand what you're saying there. Just bad communication there for Peppers and his receiver. And Mexico City is starting to run away, up by 14 here in the third quarter. 9 minutes and 22 seconds left in this quarter as the Aztecs are up 24-10 over the Red Devils. And Peppers has to get it going. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
There's plenty of game left, but you want to keep this game manageable. A lot of the other preseason games, you saw one team getting away and the other team just not being able to catch up by the fourth quarter. So that's what Indianapolis needs to do, is they need to be able to keep this game manageable and move up the field and keep the points going so that when it comes to the fourth quarter, they're not trying to score 17 points in the last 3 minutes.
Yes, sir. As a look at Daly there on the return, and Peppers comes right back out. 1st and 10 for the Devils at the 23-yard line, at the very own 23. And let's see if Peppers, man, can rally his troops and get moving up and down the field. 3 wide receivers set, offset here. And there's a handoff here to Keith, right up the middle, and he's still trucking those legs. Picks up 4 yards, averaging 2.3 on the play. Well, I'm sorry, on the game.
4 yards is a good amount of yards to be able to move on each run. If you can continue to do that, you'll have an efficient running game. But you have to be careful with how much you throw the ball, because you don't need those interceptions.
And Mexico City is in a 4-3 defensive set. They're not playing press here. Looks like they're bringing blitz at the outside at the top, man. There's a handoff to Keith Swearinger, and he picks up maybe a yard on the play, or maybe stopped at the line of scrimmage.
They're really hoping he's going to be able to break these runs and get those first downs for them. However, they really need to make sure they can balance the pass without putting the ball at risk to being picked off by the other team.
And Ogawa there on the tackle, who just had the pick 6 for Mexico City. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of the field here for the Red Devils. 2-step drop by Peppers. Throws an out route down to the bottom, and that's a first down. And McCormick comes away with the reception.
Good reception by McCormick, getting marker and then being able to move upfield and pick up that first down.
Yeah, it looks like McCormick is the only receiver that has a reception. McCormick has 3 receptions. Daly has 1. McCormick on 4 tackles, and pressure is coming in on Peppers, intended for Daly, and Daly is interrupted by Zara. Is that Zara? Oh, let's see here. And Zita. Sorry about that. Mariko Zita, defensive tackle. He played in. It looks like he dropped back in zone on that play there. What you think?
It's very questionable whether you make those passes over the middle, because there's usually a lot more defenders than there is receivers in the air.
And here's another shotgun handoff here to Keith Swearinger, and he's tackled for a 2-yard loss. Give it up for this Aztec defense, man.
The Aztec defense is playing phenomenal. They're keeping, the passes to a minimum. They're also keeping the runs to a minimum. They're doing a good job you know, getting that ball away from the offense.
Can you believe this? Pablo Zamora has 3 tackles for loss in this game? That's crazy. A strong safety. And Tom Peppers goes down on a sack. Brought down by Alan Romero of the Aztecs. Great defensive stand for the Aztecs, Marcus.
One of the Aztec players dove at Tom Pepper and missed, so you know, Tom Pepper got a get out of jail free card on the first one, but didn't get out of the second one.
Yeah, I like that, a get out of jail free card. Here's the punt here by the Red Devils, and Dags is going to return it, makes a man miss, and he has room. Popped and smacked in the mouth at the 39-yard line by the Red Devils.
So that was the first time Tom Pepper has been sacked today.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That was the first time he has been brought down today. Yes, sir.
Mexico City just needs to look to move the ball, score some points, but also take as much time off the clock as they can. Being up by 14 is a good place to be.
And here's Matt Wilson under center in a offset 3 wide receiver set formation, and handoff to Ray Bentley, and he stopped at the line of scrimmage. I thought he was going to make the first guy miss by breaking the tackle, and unfortunately the Red Devils decided to group tackle on Ray Bentley.
Time is definitely your friend in this situation, but you also don't want to use up too much time. You know, the defense is playing good, but you don't want to keep the game strictly on the defense's hands to win or lose the game for you.
Matt Wilson in the shotgun formation, and there's a handoff to Ray Bentley once more from the shotgun. Picks up 3 yards on the run there. Brought down by a host of Red Devils. And looks like the first man to get there to him was Paul Connolly.
Yep, Paul Connolly. So now the question is, do you run the ball to take a little more time off the clock, or do you go for a throw, go for a first down, and try to extend the drive?
I think they're going to try to extend the drive. If I know Mexico City, they're going to extend. And there's a drop back by Wilson, and he gets the first down thrown to his receiver.
That was an incredible catch and also an incredible throw. He didn't have a whole lot of time to get away from the defenders to make that throw. So he threw the ball as soon as he could, and it looked like it might have been a one-handed catch that he brought in, was able to get up to the line before he was hit.
Yep, it was a one-handed catch there. The receiver had to turn around and catch it behind him. 3 wide receiver offset formation here for the Aztecs. And Wilson going across the middle, and that pass is deflected by Lou Grady, the inside middle linebacker.
Always very risky to throw over the middle. He was hoping he could throw over the top of the receiver. If he would have been able to get that ball over the linebacker, the receiver would have been able to come down with that catch, but he wasn't able to throw it up and over.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Going across the middle is very risky, but one thing I know about Matt Wilson, he's one of the riskiest quarterbacks here in this league. Split back formation, 2 receivers to the top. Looks like there's a handoff to Ray Bentley. Rumbling, stumbling, picks up 5 yards. 3rd and 5 here for the Aztecs.
You know, you're sitting in that situation where you need to pick up a few yards. You know, you're 2nd and 10, and you pick up 5 yards. That makes it a more manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, absolutely right. And the best position you want to be in is either 3rd and short or 3rd and 5. And that way you have a better chance of getting that first down. 3 wide receiver set for Wilson. He takes a 2-step drop, passed out to the receiver to the top of the field, and looks like he comes up short, 1 yard short. Look.
So now you have 4th and 1, and you have to decide, you know, what you're going to do. Are you going to try to make it a 58-yard field goal? Or are you going to punt the ball? Or are you going to trust it to your running back or wide receivers and go for it?
I'll trust Ray Bentley, but it looks like they're not going to agree with me. They're going to bring out the punting team and maybe try to pin Indianapolis deep inside the 5.
There's no reason to be that risky when you have a 14-point lead, I suppose.
You're absolutely right, friend. And here's the punt. Looks like he's going to the corner. And there's a bounce inside of the 10, and it's down at the 4-yard line. What a kick.
Great punt protection and being able to go and get that ball down at the 4-yard line. Now you have to see Mexico City, dig themselves out a little bit.
Alex Lopez that was an outstanding kick by Lopez, going to the corner, not allowing the return guy to have any type of chance of coming away with the return. And Indianapolis is pinned at the 4, and they're in a single back formation, 2 receivers and 2 tight ends. And there's the handoff here to Swearingen, and he picks up 3. And he's popped and brought down right in the middle of the field.
It's very risky to run out of your own end zone, because if they can get to you behind the line, you might be looking at a safety. Luckily, he was able to get out, but there was a defender on the other side who was going to chase him down. So luckily, he was running out to the left when the defender came in on the right, or that might have been a safety.
Yes, sir. Give credit to Carlos Powers with the tackle there. And here's another handoff to Swearingen, and he had an open field, and he gets the first down. But if you ask me, Marcus, if he stayed down coming to the bottom of the field, he had green open.
Well, yards are yards. As long as he picks up that first down, they just got to keep moving the ball. They can't get stalled, on the runs or on the passes. They're down a little bit. They're down by 14, and the clock is still winding down on them. There's a little bit of time left in the third, but they really need to put up some points to make it a more manageable game in the fourth quarter.
Yes, sir. Here we are, 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third quarter. Tom Peppers on the drop back, and McCormick comes away with the reception across the middle of the field. If you just saw the stats that just came up, with 3 minutes left in the third, would you say that Tom Peppers will only have 81 passing yards?
81 passing yards so far. I think it's going to pick up. I think they're going to realize with the time winding down that they need to be throwing it a little bit more. So I think his yards are going to go up. I think he's a pretty good passer. He's got 64.7% completion on his passes. And
here's a sweep here to Keith Swearingen, and he's brought down on a yard loss. Looks like Romero once again on the tackle for loss. And he was untouched.
Swearingen is just having a tough time getting it going. You see a few good runs here and there where he picks up about 9 yards. Mm-hmm. But they're going to get to the point where they just can't afford to run it because they can't lose the clock.
Oop-de-oop formation here for the Red Devils from one of my favorite movies is Varsity Blues. And there's a first down catch there by Daly right across the middle. What a strike by Tom Peppers.
It was a great throw by Tom Pepper. He threw it at the exact moment he needed to. The offensive line was collapsing on him a little bit. If he had held that ball one more second, he would have been going to the ground. Gave his wide receiver enough time to get open over the middle of the field, catch the ball, and pick up the first down.
Yes, sir. And give credit to Daly for great concentration because that was a wobbly pass. Not sure if you saw it on the replay there, Marcus.
That pass brings Tom Pepper to 100 yards for the day.
Wow. 2 receivers to the top of the field, and Daly at the bottom. Looks like there's an encroachment on the defense. Handoff here to the backup running back, and he makes a spin move, and he's off to the races. Down to the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, and touchdown, Red Devils. They're down by 7 points now. We'll make it 8 points. You have to see what the call is. And there's the encroachment on the Aztecs, and that touchdown is good for the Red Devils as they decline the encroachment. McElroy.
Mexico City has been very stout on their run defense, but maybe they got a little too relaxed, and they paid for it on that play. He spun away from one defender and then just outran everybody else on the field.
Man, give it up for McElroy, the backup running back for the Red Devils to come in and put a move on the Aztec defense and just take it to the house. I mean, this guy is only 5'7", 193 pounds. He reminds me of, just by the body frame, of Eric Metcalf, who used to play for the Cleveland Browns back in the day. Wow, what a play. Outstanding. Somebody in the chat, who's it, Scott LaRose, says that the backup running back is better. Keith Swearingen, you better start playing some ball, son.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Scott, who's on our stats team for this game, making sure we have all the information we need, helping us out big time behind the scenes. So thank you, Scott.
Thank you so much, Scott, for all of your hard work on the stat sheets. And there's the kick here by the Red Devils. And here's a return here by Daggs, and he has room. And Daggs is hit and brought down at the 27-yard line of the Aztecs. Matt Wilson set and ready to come back out to the field with his offensive troops. Let's see if he and Ray Bentley can get things going once more and get themselves back into the end zone or into scoring range.
So now you're up by 7. It's still a good place to be, but you can't be as relaxed as you were before. Like I said, you can't hope that your defense is going to hold them off the entire game. The offense needs to go put up a few more points.
Shotgun formation here for the Aztecs. 4 wide receiver set. As I said earlier, they love the shotgun. 2-step drop here by the left-hander Wilson, and he gets pressured. He's brought down, tackled and sacked. 7-yard loss. What a defensive play by the Aztecs. I'm sorry, by the Red Devils.
So it looks like that was Eric Riley who got him down on the ground there. So good play. Wilson just looked to see how much time he could get in the pocket to be able to make a throw. Looked like no receivers were open. Held on the ball just a little bit too long.
And Riley came through with a swim move. Not sure if you saw that, man, and had the the right tackle there just discombobulated as he was able to get in the backfield and get Wilson there on the sack. And there's a sweep here to Ray Bentley, who picks up no yards on the game, averaging 3.5 yards per carry. As you stated, Marcus, you want to be around the 4-yard mark to make sure that you're very successful in the run game.
That was a very curious play on 2nd down, 2nd and 17, because now they face a 3rd and 17.
You're absolutely right. 42 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter. Wilson is calling an audible. Must see something that he likes that the defense is in. They're in a dime situation. And Wilson goes deep to the top of the field, and there's an INT. Tackled and brought down by K.O. Barrett. Who was the corner there responsible for that pick?
Let's take a look in the replay. It looks like fortunately, I'm going to butcher everybody's name here. Von Senek?
That's what I believe the name is. That's what it looks like to me, Senek. And outstanding play. He was smothering the receiver there like smothered chicken. And he came away with the INT over Wilson. That's Wilson's 2nd for the day, right?
Let me take a look back and see, however.
Peppers under center at the Mexico City Aztec 10-yard line. Handoff here to Swearinger, and Swearinger gets nowhere. As
that
Romero
was a
comes
2nd interception for the day.
Okay. Low pass there on the tackle for the Aztecs. Looks like the Aztecs is starting to let this game slip away, throwing picks and not being productive in the passing game. I think that going for the run on that 2nd and 17 was just irresponsible of the Aztecs. I think they should have threw it, maybe went something underneath or mediocre. Just some type of just drop off or so, just to get some more yards, and get yourself out of 3rd and long as they were in when they threw that pick.
I think they were looking for Bentley to pick up 10 or 12 yards, make it more manageable, but instead it led to a 3rd and 17, which forced them to throw the ball when it was too late and throw an interception. Absolutely correct.
And there's Swearinger once more with the handoff and picks up no yards there on the game. Looks like he had daylight, but Dags. How about that? Jeff Swag Dags or Jeff Dag Swags comes up with the tackle. Either way, we're going to get it. Either Jeff Swags or Jeff Swag Dags or Jeff Dag Swag. You call it in the chats. What should Dag's nickname be, including the word swag? Peppers in the shotgun. He drops back, goes straight across the middle. Incomplete passes deflected. And that's by Kevin Wallace, not Aaron Arrington, who used to be with the Aztecs.
That was a very risky throw to make. There were more defenders in front of the ball than there were receivers, so there weren't a lot of good ways that play could end, but that was probably one of the better ways. Otherwise, that was going to be intercepted.
Yeah, that was a very risky play.
So that'll set up a 27-yard field goal.
And here's the kick here by Venchek. Kick is up, and it's no good. Looks like wide left here by the kicker, and that's got to be... I'm lost of words. I know Richardson is just livid right now on the sideline at the kicker.
So that's going to turn the ball over at the 20-yard line, and not the points that Indianapolis was looking for. Now gives Mexico City a chance to respond.
Split back formation here for Mexico City. There's a 7-step drop by Wilson. He's popped and brought down with another sack by the Red Devils. Looks like Chesterfield once more on the sack. Call it, Marcus.
You know, he's took some steps back, but there was just nobody blocking. It looked like maybe Bentley was supposed to cover him a little bit, but he got past Bentley and was able to take down Wilson.
Yes, sir. Fields was untouched. 3 wide receiver set, offset are the running backs. Behind Wilson, here's a handoff. Here's a Ray Bentley up the middle of the field, and he's tackled and brought down after picking up 2 yards.
Ray Bentley's got an average there of 3.4 yards, which is a pretty decent average. However, I bet he wishes it was just a little bit higher than that.
3rd and 11, 9 minutes and 35 seconds here left in the 4th quarter. Here for the Mexico City Aztecs. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, and Ray Bentley is in the backfield with Wilson. And the left-hander's calling signal, takes a 3-step drop. Bentley blocks Chesterfield and strike down the middle of the field. And that pass is incomplete. And Mexico City has to punt it away, Marcus.
Not enough time for them to be able to make that play. However, you know, if it wasn't for Ray Bentley on that play of blocking, that play would have been over 3 seconds earlier. You know, he made an incredible block, which kept his quarterback up, but it just wasn't enough time to be able to let him make that pass.
You hit that right on the nose because Chesterfield was coming, and he was coming full speed. And here's the punt. And here's the return here for Daly and the Red Devils, and he's popped and smacked.
Good hit. You got to be really careful not to let go of that football when you get hit.
Yeah, he was holding on to that one for his dear life, and Frank Sanchez was the backup halfback for the Aztecs, came away with the tackle.
Tom Pepper's got a 63% completion percentage and 100 yards. He's 12 and 19, so hopefully he can go ahead and move them up the field.
He has Daly to the top. 3 wide receivers set, offset all the running backs is Tom Pepper's handoff here to Swearingen. He has to jump over his own guard and brought down for a yard loss. Jack Brown coming away with that tackle, Marcus.
Swearingen's up to 53 yards, but he's just struggling a little bit to get that run game going. He's averaging 1.9 yards per carry on this particular game.
Yeah, Swearingen is just he's trying to get a rhythm, but he's just unable to do so. This Mexico City defense is just swithering him, and they're bringing blitz, and there it is. Brought down in the backfield, loss of 2 yards this time.
The run defense for Mexico City has been phenomenal the entire game. There comes a tipping point where you decide that, you know, moving the ball is not efficient enough for your team in this particular play, and that may not be on the running back. That might just be because you're against a really good run defense.
Yeah,
so you have to adapt your game based on what you're seeing from the other team.
You're right. Oop-de-oop formation here for the Red Devils, and 3-step drop here by Peppers. Throws it down right to Daly, and no, that wasn't Daly. It was the red sleeves. Kind of confused me there, and that was intended for. Couldn't
Looks
tell
like
if
that went for one of their tight ends there.
Yeah,
but you know, that pass was way too short. You know, that was only a couple yards past the line of scrimmage, and they needed 13 to make it to the first down.
Yeah, and also there was a defender right there in his back pocket waiting for him there as well. And the Red Devils has to punt this thing away, and there's the kick. And great protection here by the special teams of the Aztecs. Daggs tried to spin move himself out of trouble, but he gets himself into trouble and smacked and brought down at the 20-yard line.
Mexico City is doing a decent job. You know, they have less passing yards than Indianapolis does, but they have a good completion percentage of 61%. And Ray Bentley is up to 61 yards on the day. So both teams' defenses are playing very strong.
You're absolutely right. Both defenses are playing very strong. And the Aztecs comes out in an offset formation, 2 tight ends. And there's an out pass to KL Barrett. Nice catch there. Steps out of bounds, picks up 5 yards on the reception.
When he caught the ball, he kind of took a step, you know, the wrong direction, and then had to turn around and go back forward. So probably didn't pick up as many yards as he could have.
Mexico City comes out in an I formation bunch. And here's a handoff here to Bentley, and he picks up a first down. great way to show great poise there, but poise is not the word I was looking for. I guess I want to say, go ahead, Marcus. I can't remember the word I want to use.
I iterated in the beginning of the game, you know, when it comes to crunch time, you need playmakers, not plays. You put the ball in the hands of the people who you think are going to be able to make those plays for you, and he picked up a good first down, you know, to keep that clock moving, put the pressure on Indianapolis.
Two receivers, a tight end in the slot, and there's an out right to the top of the field, and that pass is caught, and looks like the receiver on that catch is Richard Montega.
Looks like Richard Montague was able to get that ball, but he kind of fell over as he caught it. He wasn't able to stay up, which, you know, stopped him from getting the first down marker. But they were able to bring up some good blocking to give Wilson enough time to make that throw.
Is it Montague or Montague?
Montague?
Montague? Okay. And I know there was no A in there. I don't know why I kept saying Montega. And Ray Bentley is tackled at the line of scrimmage.
Fortunately, I'm not the best with names, so I apologize to everybody if I mispronounce her name.
Don't worry about it. It happens here. It's to the best of us in the SFL. And 3rd and 5 here for the Aztecs. 6:33, and the clock is still ticking. 3 wide receivers set, 1 tight end. Ray Bentley in a single back formation, and here's a 3-step drop here by Wilson. Pass to the tight end, and inches short of the first down. Defensive stop here by the Red Devils. Should Mexico City go for it, Marcus?
You know, I think they should. They have Ray Bentley in the backfield, and looks like they're not going to, but they need to keep the clock ticking down against Indianapolis. If they give Indianapolis the ball back, they could easily tie up that game. So I would have trusted Ray Bentley to get that inch and keep that clock going against the other team.
I totally agree with you, my friend. And here's Daly on the return. Picks up a yard or two. And he's down at the 26-yard line. 5 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the ball game. And Indianapolis is knocking on the door to tying this thing up. Tom Peppers has to stay pretty much perfect. Thus, so far, I mean, it has to be perfect the remaining of the game in order to get his team back into it and to take the lead.
They've stayed in it. They're only down 7. You know, all it takes is 1 touchdown here to tie the game and either go into overtime or have a chance to win it. So they're not out yet.
All set, all the running backs, 3 wide receivers is Indianapolis, and handoff here to Swearingen. He picks up 2 yards on the carry there. I tell you, this run defense here for Mexico City is pretty good.
Looks like Indianapolis is really dedicated to their run. You know, they think that might be their way to win it here, but they also don't want to take too much time off the clock, especially if they're running too far. You know, they don't want to punt the ball back.
Another handoff here to Swearingen. He's popped and knocked backwards in the backfield by the Aztecs.
It's pretty tough when you put that much pressure on your running back to be able to keep moving the ball. It seems like they haven't been balancing it too well. They've done a lot of you know, rushing attempts. You know, he's had 31 rushing attempts in this game.
That was tail
against 20 passing attempts.
Wow, what a stat. 3 wide receivers here to the bottom of the field, and Daly to the top. Peppers with a 5-step drop, going out route, pass deflected and caught by the Red Devil along the sideline. What a concentrated catch.
That was an incredible catch that was made. Looks like that was John Hamill who made that catch. It was defended by one of the Mexico City defenders, was tipped right into his hands, and he was able to come up with that catch. He was very lucky it wasn't an interception. He was able to catch it.
Red Devils keeping the offense on the field. Let's see if there's the snap. And there's an out route up to the bottom of the field, and no, did not get the first down. Daly came up short. The Aztecs stopped the Red Devils.
It looked like there was a wide receiver that was open on the line. I don't know if we'll be able to see it in this replay, but it looked like you could see the receiver that went up the middle from the top. The defender was on the right side of him, so he probably could have put the ball a little bit short and maybe caught that ball and went up and got it. But
Yep, you're absolutely correct. Eli McCormick was the receiver that was at the bottom that went inward on that in route, and he also had Swearingen on his swing to the top of the field as well. He just focused on one receiver. He didn't go through his read progression. Aztecs in the 43 defense showing blitz by the outside linebackers, and here's a handoff here to Ray Bentley. They must knew that Ray was getting the ball, and Ray picks up 3 yards.
One of the other problems that Indianapolis is going to find themselves in is that Mexico City is only on the 32-yard line. So they're well getting into field goal range, which puts you at a disadvantage because there's only 4 minutes left of the game, and you might be down by 10, where one touchdown is not going to be enough to keep you in it. You still have to come back and kick a field goal.
Absolutely. Indianapolis showing blitz to the top of the field. If I was Mexico City, I would just run it here. I wouldn't try to pass it at all. And here's a sweep here to Ray Bentley, and Bentley is stopped, losing 2 yards. Great defensive stand on that play there by the Red Devils.
Yeah, it seems like the running defense is a little bit hit or miss. Sometimes Bentley will pick up some yards, and sometimes they'll get on it. So they did a good job that time making that stop.
Yeah, and you ask me, here in the SFL, running the sweep is very, very hard to run because you have such great defensive ends and great outside linebackers in this league that are always penetrating and containing and looking for that sweep or that pitch. Here's Mexico City, 3 wide receivers. Looks like there's a tight end in the slot. 2 running backs in the backfield with Wilson. There's a handoff to Ray Bentley on a delay, and he's tackled and brought down in the backfield.
You know, their top priority is, now that they're within field goal range, is just to take that clock down as much as they can, because you want to put that pressure on the other team where they only have a couple minutes to score.
Exactly. Give it up for Ace Lawless, the defensive tackle there for the Red Devils, are coming away with that tackle in the backfield on Ray Bentley. And looks like Mexico City is going to punt the ball away back to the Red Devils. 2 minutes and 38 seconds left in this ball game. Whoa, Marcus, that punt is almost blocked. And it's...
looks like it's going to have a good bounce.
Yeah, great bounce here for the Aztecs.
They also did a good job knocking the Aztecs out of field goal range where they didn't quite feel comfortable. They figured, you know, the clock's against the other team. Why miss a field goal and give them an extra 30 yards when they can down the ball at the 7-yard line?
1st and 10 for Tom Peppers and the Red Devils at his own 7-yard line, as Marcus has just stated. They come out with 4 wide receivers, 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom, and Keith Swearingen in the backfield. Peppers takes a 5-step drop, throws an out route up to the top of the field. Looks like Keith McCormick comes away with the reception, 7 yards on the pickup.
Good decision to throw the ball. Great instincts by the wide receiver to catch that ball and get out of bounds for Eli McCormick, because the clock is definitely against them, especially where they are in the field. So he caught the ball and went straight for the sideline.
Yes, sir, and give it up to the Red Devils offensive lineman that was able to contain the Aztecs as they came in on a blitz, and they picked up all blitzers trying to get to the quarterback. There's a look at Jeff Dax sneaking, playing possum in the backfield with the defensive backs. 3 wide receivers here for the Red Devils. Tom Peppers calling the signal. 2:14 left. Time is ticking. Cross the middle. That almost that wasn't almost a pick.
That was an incredible risky play, and it looks like the person that almost had that was Jack Brown.
Yeah, Jack Brown, the veteran. You're absolutely right. Outside linebacker for the Aztecs. Mexico City fans are calling defense. 3rd and 3 here for the Red Devils. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left. Tom Peppers on a 2-step drop. Throws the swing pass here to Swearingen, and he gets nothing.
He's able to get the ball, but he just wasn't able to get to the first down marker before the defenders were able to get to him.
Now he's jarring him back and forth with Zamora, something you don't want to do. I'm sorry, not Zamora. That was Fran Owega.
So that play puts us at the 2-minute warning with 2 minutes left. It's 4th and 3. Indianapolis has a decision.
Indianapolis keeps the offense on the field. 3 receivers to the top. And Peppers take a 2-step drop, and the pass is caught by Daly. First down. 1 minute and 57 seconds left on the clock. He did great by getting out of bounds, Marcus.
That was a perfect throw and a perfect catch to go right in front of the first down markers, get the ball, and go out of bounds. That play only took 3 seconds off the clock, which is exactly what they needed.
That was a great play. That was a great call. Tom Pepper's under center now. 4 wide receivers, empty backfield, no running back in on this play, Marcus. Looks like there's a tight end in as well. So he has 5 targets. Cross the middle, incomplete pass.
They know that with only 1 minute and 53 seconds left, they're not going to get up the field by running the ball. So they really have to, trust that their offense is going to be able to make the plays that are needed. It was a good throw and almost a good catch, but it was a really good defender, making that play on that ball and hitting it down before the receiver could catch it.
I totally agree with you. That's inside linebacker Carlos Powers coming away with the deflection there. Tom Pepper's in shotgun formation. 4 receivers. And Keith Swearingen in the backfield with Peppers. Peppers is calling signals. 3-step drop. Drops it off to tight end across the middle of the field. And Indianapolis calls a timeout.
Swearingen picked up a really good block, which gave Pepper enough time to make that throw. But you need to pick up more than 4 yards because you can't keep burning your timeouts. You're only at the 22-yard line. You have 1 minute and 48 seconds. You need to score to tie up the game. Yeah,
you're absolutely right. Indianapolis is going to have to take a chance downfield. And I think that Tom Peppers is basically, looks like he's a little shaken up due to the great defense that these defensive backs has been playing for Mexico City. 4 wide receivers in, deep across the middle, and that pass is deflected and batted away by Powers as well.
They have just been all over the ball, Mexico City has, and it's, might be rattling Tom Pepper a little bit when he needs to get those balls to those receivers, but before his receivers even have a chance to make a play on it, the defenders are already there.
And that was Nick Daggs, who almost came away with the INT from the deflection from Carlos Powers. Oop-de-oop formation here once more for the Red Devils, and Peppers takes a 3-step drop, strike across the middle of the field, and that's a first down there. Now the Indianapolis Red Devils are hustling and rushing back to the line of scrimmage.
That was a 4th down play. If you missed that play, that game was potentially over, so it was a good play for them to pick up that first down.
You're absolutely right, Marcus. Once more, and McCormick comes away with a reception across the middle of the field. Peppers is moving the Red Devils down the field, but he's doing it very, very slowly. 2nd and 2. Peppers out pass down to the bottom of the field to McCormick. Did he catches it inbounds? Yes. First down, Red Devils.
So he is moving the ball. Over the last couple plays, he's gone about 20 yards, which is helpful, and he's taken, about 15 seconds off the clock. So he's moving the ball, and when he needs to get out of bounds, they're able to get out of it. So they're doing clock management well, but they still have a ways to go and not a lot of time to do it.
4 wide receivers set, no tight ends on the play. Swearinger in the backfield. Peppers underneath the center takes a 7-step drop. Dump it off to his halfback across the middle of the field and picks up 8 yards. Indianapolis rushing back to the goal to the line of scrimmage. 1 minute, 2 seconds left. And here's a 7-step drop here by Peppers once again. Going across the middle of the field. He got the receiver. McCormick comes away with a catch.
Looks like they trust their receivers a little bit on the middle of the field over the inside, and it was those short passes that were getting him yards.
Time is ticking. Time is ticking. Is he going to spike it? He's calling signals. I would have spiked it. I would have stopped the clock. Out pass here to Swearinger. Takes the 2-yard loss. He should have spiked it. 34 seconds left in the game.
There's something to be said about keeping the momentum against the other team. Wear down plays.
7-step drop here for Peppers, going deep, cross the middle of the field. That pass is deflected by Jeff Daggs. Not today, son. Not in my house.
That was a good deflection. If that ball would have gone over his hands, he either would have been gone 15, 10-yard line and, give Tom Pepper the ability to take a timeout and take 3 shots at the end zone from 10 yards out. Now they'll face 3rd and 12.
3rd and 12, Indianapolis at Mexico City's 38-yard line. Mexico is in a dime formation. 4 wide receivers for Indianapolis, and the halfback is behind Peppers. 20 seconds left on the clock. Peppers is getting penetrated. Got some man downfield, and it's Daly. Touchdown! 24-23. Aztecs. Devils are down by 1 point. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Daly comes up big.
So I really like what they're doing with their clock management. They're taking their big shots down the field, keeping their timeouts, so that if he would have got tackled at the 5 or 10-yard line, they would have been able to use their timeouts and take a few shots at the end zone. However, you know, it almost worked 2 plays ago where they almost got it over Daggs, but Daggs got it. So they figured, let's try it again, do a little bit better, throw it a little bit higher, and it worked out.
This has become a crazy game. That last drive has really milked me, I tell you. What an awesome play by Tom Peppers and Daly on that last touchdown reception. And the field goal is good.
By saving your timeouts, you give the ball seconds, and hopefully that's not enough time for, you know, Mexico City. You know, if they had been taking all their timeouts, you might have given them the ball back with 40 seconds left, and that might have been too much for Wilson to go down the field and score. So at least you might be guaranteeing that you're going to overtime.
And there's a kick off to Mexico City. Let's see if Daggs can return this one for a touchdown as he did as the opening kick. And there's a spin move by Daggs, and nope, nothing doing. Stopped at the 28-yard line of Mexico City.
So now with 12 seconds left, you're probably going to see them running the ball. They're so far back that if they throw an interception here, they might have a game losing field goal from the other team for Indianapolis to win with a field goal. So I would probably see them maybe running the ball here and just going into overtime. Don't want to take on any unnecessary chances that might cost them the game.
Mexico City is in single back formation. 3 receivers. And Wilson on a 7-step drop going deep down the middle of the field. Passes intended for his receiver and broken up. Daggs come up short.
Looks like they're playing risky. They got 7 seconds left. See if they want to do it again or run the ball.
Mike Daggs was the intended receiver, the tight end there on the play. If he comes away with that catch, Mexico City calls a timeout, and they're in great position on the other side of the 50.
At least now that they're down to 7 seconds, if they throw it outside of field goal range for the other team, even if it's intercepted, it might be too much time for them to be able to go back and kick it.
Yeah. 4 wide receivers here for Wilson. Bentley's in the backfield. 2-step drop. Wilson takes a quick strike across the middle of the field. Mexico City calls a timeout. 3 seconds left. You got to come out in Hail Mary fashion now.
That was an incredibly risky play to make, especially because the defender was closer to the ball than the receiver was. However, the defender wasn't able to make a play on that ball. If you would have taken that ball away, you would have ended.
Mexico City comes out. 1st and 10, 3 seconds left here in the ball game. If nothing happens here, we'll be going into overtime. 3 wide receiver set. Bentley in a single back formation by himself. And Wilson takes a 5-step drop, reads his progression. Got some man at the bottom of the field. K.O. Barrett comes away with a catch. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to do anything with it. And that's the end of regulation. We're going into overtime.
Overtime games are always exciting. But, you know, Mexico City's played so strong the entire game. And the Red Devils have come back. You know, it's unfortunate to see, you know, from Mexico City's perspective, how dominant they were in the defense and how at one point, you know, they were up by 14 points and then to let it come back down to overtime.
Red Devils wins the toss, and they're going to get the ball first here in overtime.
Tom Pepper's on a brand new team and, you know, trying to start a brand new legacy. And the first way to do it would be an overtime win in the preseason.
You're absolutely right, Marcus. And there's a kick by Varner into the end zone, and he's not going to nail it. Daly's going to come out. He's feeling good about himself, but he's dropped down at the 23.
Need to play smart, get your points, move the ball, and run it or you throw it. You know, you saw a really good, efficient passing offense when they moved up the field last time and got a touchdown. You know, those passes over the middle, trying to find the receivers in space seems to work out really well for Pepper. So let's see if they continue to call those specific plays.
Split back formation here for the Red Devils. 2 receivers. McCormick at the top. There's a handoff here to Swearingen, and he picks up 1 yard. Tom Peppers. 37. Go ahead.
As I say, they have time to run the ball. Now that we're in overtime, the clock resets to 11 minutes. So we have essentially a fifth 11-minute quarter. So, you know, time is no longer against them. Now time is their friend. You know, they can take, you know, as much time as they need to get up that field.
You're absolutely right. Split back formation once more. And 2 wide receivers in a twin formation. And here's another handoff here to the halfback. Picks up nothing on the play.
Now they end up 3rd and 9, and they probably will need to pass. And, you know, you don't want to have to punt the ball back this quickly. And, you know, Tom Pepper was incredibly efficient in picking up those 3rd and 4th downs on the last drive. Let's see if he'll be able to continue that momentum and pick this play up again.
4 wide receivers set are the Red Devils. The Aztecs in a dime formation defensively. Peppers takes a 3-step drop. He reads, nothing doing. Sacked and brought down on a 4-yard loss.
Too much time, didn't like what he saw, but probably just needed to throw the ball away. You know, don't want to lose those yards when it comes back to punting, you know, because you need to make sure they have every opportunity to go ahead and do that and get that play. And that looks like it was the 2nd sack of the day for Tom Pepper.
Yeah, but Avila comes away with that sack of Mexico City, the defensive end, and the Red Devils are going to have to punt this thing away. There's the punt, and Mexico City does not bring any type of pressure whatsoever. Dags on the return, makes a man miss, makes another miss, and spin moves and tackled at the midfield. Gets up with his fist raised because of excitement on that run.
They're at the 48-yard line. All they have to do is go about, you know, 15 to 20 yards, get into field goal range, and that'll be enough to win the game.
The former SFL champion MVP, Matt Wilson underneath the centers. Offset formation on the running backs. 2 receivers. Barrett to the top of the field. 2-step drop by Wilson, and he throws it away. Is there going to be a penalty? He did have a receiver in the vicinity.
Receiver just couldn't go back and get it. He ran out of time, was going to get sacked. You know, didn't want to hold on to the ball too long, so he figured, an incomplete is better than getting sacked, and so the receiver just wasn't able to come back. There wasn't enough time, so he underthrew the ball to the receiver.
You're absolutely correct. 2 wide receivers, single back formation, 2 tight ends here for the Aztecs. Wilson underneath the center, and there's a sweep and pitch to Ray Bentley. Popped and hit at the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing.
3rd and 10, still outside of field goal range. You know, they need to move that ball, hopefully get into field goal range. If not, they might be kicking the ball back the other way and back on the defensive side of the ball.
This has been a great game so far, Marcus. I must say that I am glad to have you along here calling the play-by-play with me. Mexico City, 4 wide receivers. Wilson underneath the center, 3rd and 10. Wilson takes a 5-step drop. He gets pressure, going across the middle of the field. Got some man, but he only picks up a few yards on the play.
So it looks like from there would be a 61-yard field goal, which I think is probably a little too much for them to be able to make. So you'll likely see them punting the ball away, which would give Tom Pepper the chance to, make a play and win the game.
I'll say go for the field goal. 61 yarders, that'd be a record. Jamie Hernandez was the receiver on the last reception, but I'm just only kidding here about going for the field goal.
Problem with the 61-yard field goal is that turns the ball back over and allows them to only be about 30 yards out of field goal range. Now, instead of being at the 44-yard line, they're all the way back at the 20, so it saved them 24 yards by punting the ball away.
You're absolutely right. I was just only kidding, though. We get to see Tom Peppers come back onto the field here, rattling the Red Devils. Let's see if he can march down the field for another touchdown pass to Daly or maybe to McCormick. Aztecs in a 43 defense. Twin set split back. And there's McCormick for a reception. Jumps over a man. Almost makes another miss. Picks up 8 yards on the reception.
Great play to move the ball. Made one defender miss and moved down the field. They still have 8 minutes, so they don't need to speed up too quickly. That puts them at 2nd and 2, which is a manageable spot for them to pick up that first down. Just keep moving down the field. All they have to do is kick a field goal, so they just need to get themselves into field goal range. Tom Pepper is the leader of this team, and he needs to show that by marching up the field and getting this win.
Twin single back formation here. There's a pitch to Swearinger. Picks up maybe a yard, 3rd and inches.
That was very close. There's been a lot of these down and inches calls throughout this game.
There's a look at Dags. Once again playing possum, hiding behind folks, being sneaky. Reminds me of Ed Reed. Offset formation here. There's another pitch to Swearinger. 4-yard loss. Nothing doing. Give it up for Pablo Zamora for coming up from the strong safety spot, Marcus.
As soon as I saw how that defensive line was stacked, I did not like their chances of running into that. And, it didn't work out, and it looks like now they're going to be sending the ball back the other way again. Both teams have gotten a number of chances at winning this game, and no team has been able to do it quite yet. So we're going down to 6 minutes and 40 seconds left, and we'll see if Mexico City has what it takes to get this ball back the other direction and finally get this game over with.
Yes, if you ask me, I think Tom Pepper should have audibled out of the pitch. He had two receivers to the bottom here of the field in the Twins formation. He could have called for an out route, an in route, or a quick slant or something like that. I think he should have audibled the play instead of going for that pitch through heavy traffic up there to the north of the field.
I agree. There were so many defenders you could go one-on-one with your receivers and have a better chance of getting that first down.
Here's Wilson, 5-step drop, getting pressure, going deep. There's a wobbly pass, overthrows his man.
Too much pressure in his face. Matt Wilson just didn't have enough time or was rushed to throw the ball and unfortunately just overthrew his receiver. He dove for the ball, but just was a few yards away and wasn't able to come down with it. If he would have caught that ball, they would have been looking very close to field goal range.
Second and 10 here for the Aztecs. 6 minutes and 35 seconds here in the left in ball game in overtime. Bentley in the backfield by himself. Two tight ends on the play. 2-step drop by Wilson. Gets pressured and brought down in the backfield. Tackled for 3-yard loss.
So now they face that 3rd and 13 where it looks like Brian Dagger was one who was able to bring him down. Was able just to get on the inside of that lineman and pull Matt Wilson down before he was able to get rid of the football, which brings in that 3rd and 13, which it seems like they've faced a lot in this overtime session where nobody's just able to get, past this, 45-yard marker to get this field goal taken care of.
5-step drop by Wilson. He steps up in the pocket, goes deep, across the middle of the field. Incomplete pass. Pass intended for Dags. Coming up short.
If this hadn't been 3rd down and they wouldn't been faced to go to 4th down here, the line was pretty open and he probably could have picked up 4 or 5, 6 yards with a rush there, but that would have still brought up 4th down. So it wasn't an option in this particular case. But if that had been 2nd down, I bet Wilson might have scrambled on that play and picked up half the yards needed.
I totally agree with you. My apologies. It wasn't Dags on the intended possession. That was Richard Montague. And there's the punt.
Ball's going back the other way, and it looks like Indianapolis will get another try to go ahead and try to win this game.
And there's Tom Peppers at his very own 30-yard line. 5:56 to go in the overtime. They keep showing Jeff Dags for some reason. I don't know why, but they keep showing him.
Tom Pepper's over 200 yards to the day. He's got 208 yards on 38 attempts.
And here's a swing pass to Swearinger. Picks up a yard on the play.
Swearinger continues to hover around that 50-yard mark.
I don't think I've ever seen this before, but Pepper has 69.2 passer ratings and 69.2 completion percentage. I don't think I've ever seen that matchup like that before. So. Twin set, single back is the Indianapolis Red Devils. 7-step drop is Peppers. Out to Daly, picks up the reception, picks up first down and more. 1st and 10 for the Red Devils.
Great catch, but he took a little too long to start heading towards the first down. You can see when he catches the ball that he had to turn a little bit and then head up for the first down.
Right.
So he's lucky he was able to make it up to the line of scrimmage and made an incredible play getting to that first down mark.
Here's a look at Daly. They say that if Daly is pressed, he knows how to get around his defender. Looks like Mexico City is playing off on the receivers. 2-step drop by Peppers. Out route here by Daly to the bottom of the field, and he picks up 4 yards on the reception. 2nd and 6.
I think we're about 25 yards out of field goal range, maybe 25 to 30 yards out of field goal range for, Indianapolis to feel comfortable trying to pick up the win with that field goal.
I totally agree with you, Marcus. Peppers is doing pretty well on this drive here. 230 yards on the day for Peppers. 72% passer ratings. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Single back formation is Swearingen. There's a handoff to the halfback. Picks up quite a bit of yards. 4 on the play. 3rd and 2.
Now you're in that issue again where you're 3rd and 2. You're not in field goal range. You can run the ball to try to pick up the 2 yards, but if you don't get it, you're out of range and you're punting again.
But I don't think I want to run it against this defense that have 15 tackles for loss in this game. Single back ace formation. Mexico City showing blitz. There's a sweep, and just as I said, I wouldn't run it on this defense that has 15 tackles for loss, Marcus.
I probably would have, tested the defenders and threw the ball. They have a little bit more of a better chance throwing the ball over running it. And, this is the time of game where you don't want to make mistakes that could cost you the game. Now they have to punt the ball away. If it was an incomplete pass, they would have had to punt anyway, and they're not really any worse off for trying through.
Exactly. And 4th and 7, and Indianapolis is going to punt the ball away. I wasn't sure if they was going to try to pass and do some type of trick play. And Daggs on the return. Makes a man miss on the tackle, but he's cleaned up at the 23 of Mexico City.
Back again, I think each team's had about 5 or 6 chances to win this game so far, and nobody's offense can get it, into field goal range.
Somebody got to do something. Somebody got to win this game.
I think we're going to quadruple overtime.
I hope not. I have somewhere to go.
Well,
I don't want to miss my flight.
I got nowhere to be, so you guys can listen to me all day.
There's a pass out to the top of the field to K.O. Barrett by Matt Wilson, picking up 5 on the play.
Second and 5 on the 27-yard line. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left in this overtime.
3 wide receivers here for Mexico City. Offset all the running backs. Ray Bentley in the back. Indianapolis in a 43 defense, and there's the pressure and tackled for a 3-yard loss. Well, it looks like they didn't tackle him for a loss. Well, yeah, 5-yard loss, I'm sorry.
91, Eric Riley with the tackle.
Great play there. Great penetration by Riley on the play.
Neither team is running the ball to the greatest effect in this game. They need to start throwing the ball. Now it's 3rd and 10 again, and most teams just haven't been able to convert in these 3rd downs.
Wilson on a 5-yard drop and strike down to Richards.
Just as I say that, they were able to make an amazing play and move the ball down the field. Matt Wilson had enough time. There wasn't defenders in his face. Saw that the defenders were all behind him. Nobody was even close, and was able to throw the perfect ball to bring him up to the 44-yard line.
Matt Wilson, a.k.a. the Bronze Bomber, comes away with a strike to his receiver. Offset other running backs with the tight end here on the play. Let's see what Aztecs call now. 2-step drop by Wilson. Floats across the middle to his tight end. Picks up 10.
Smart play. You need to watch that there's only 2 minutes left, but you're up to the 46-yard line and over on the other side of the ball, the other side of the field. It's about as close as either team's been to being able to get into field goal range, and now we're 2-minute warning left for this overtime. You're
absolutely right, Marcus. What a great play there by Wilson, just to loaf it over the linebacker and just get it into the hands of the tight end. And he picks up the 1st down there. There's a look at Ray Bentley's stats. I don't think I've ever seen him run 25 times for under 100 yards. And the Aztecs are in single back formation. Indianapolis showing blitz. They do bring pressure. Wilson, incomplete pass across the middle of the field. 2nd and 10.
Both teams are having a little bit of trouble running the ball. As you saw, 2.5 yards per carry by Ray Bentley. He had some good runs, but just through the massive carries, it's just not enough to bring up that average. And then Swearingen is at, looks like, 1.3 yards per carry. So the defense for Mexico City, for their run defense, has been phenomenal the entire game. Just haven't let them move the ball at all.
Absolutely right. There's a shift here by the linebackers and the defensive backs here for Indianapolis. And they're not going to show any type of sign of pressure. There's a handoff here to Bentley up the middle of the field. And he's trucking. He picks up 5. 3rd and 5. 1 minute and 49 seconds left in the ball game. Or should I say in overtime.
So from here, it'd be a 57-yard field goal. So the question is, do you let Bentley run the ball, try to pick up another 5 yards, or do you throw it? Because 57 might be just the edge of where you'd want to be kicking.
I think I would go for a pass, but who knows? Mexico City, they love Ray Bentley. And Indianapolis is showing blitz by the inside backer. Bentley with the handoff. Stiff arm, but nothing doing. Brought down by number 22. Give me a name on that truck.
Looks like a 56-yard field goal.
And that was Conley on the tackle. Ray Bentley is not an easy guy to bring down, but Conley did it all by himself. And looks like Lopez is coming out, and they're going to punt the ball away. 1 minute and 5 seconds left in this overtime game.
Nobody wants to play risky on the field goal, so they're just going to kick the ball back to the other side and let Indianapolis take over with 50 seconds left in this overtime.
And there's the punt. Drops down inside the 10 and fumbled in almost inside the 5, but the guy who picked it up just ran it to the end zone.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see this game end because of a safety?
Now, that would have been interesting. Now, we have had that done before. Vancouver Legion versus the San Antonio Vaqueros. Game in overtime end on a safety. Go back and look at it, folks.
47 seconds left.
There's an encroachment here. Dump off to Swearingen, and he picks up a first down. I would go ahead and decline that, Marcus.
So the question is, if that was an offsides by the defense, was it the smartest idea to drop it off to your running back, or should you have tried to take a shot down the field and see if you can pick up a few yards?
I would have took a shot downfield, but Peppers only did a 2-step drop. He may have felt some type of pressure, and in that instance, who knows? When you're a quarterback and you're that close to the line of scrimmage and you're getting pressured by the D-line, there's no telling what's going in your head.
It was a great job by Swearingen catching that ball and moving it down the field. He's actually been pretty efficient in the receiving game.
At 34 seconds, I'm not sure why Indianapolis did not call a timeout. Time is ticking. And there's a pitch to the halfback. I don't understand the call. I really don't.
Swearingen's at 27 yards receiving, so he's at 3.9 for an average receiving over his 1.3 average on rushing.
Looks like we're going to go ahead and go into double overtime here, folks. 9 seconds left. Indianapolis is taking their very patient time getting to the line of scrimmage. And here's a 7-step drop by Peppers going deep. He's going for it all. That pass is picked off. Jeff Jacks comes away with a game-saving INT as he has saved Mexico City several times today.
That one interception will take us into double overtime. That was an incredible interception. Just making sure that Indianapolis couldn't get that one past him. If he had fallen down or wasn't able to catch up, he might have been able to go to the end zone and end the game. So now we'll go to double overtime.
As I stated earlier, they kept showing Jeff Daggs for some reason. Well, maybe that was the reason there, my friend. Now they're going to start the teams off at the 45-yard line. And here's Mexico City on a 5-step drop. Is Wilson deep across the middle of the field, and that is intercepted. And this guy has second INT of the day.
That is going to be field goal range, it looks like.
Paul Blake comes away with an INT. Take it away, Marcus.
Looks like Paul Blake was able to pretty much just win the game as a free safety. Was way over the center of the field and was able to just get it before it got to the receiver. Was able to spin, make 2 people miss, and then was able to get tackled. He's on the inside of the 40-yard line at the 37. It's not quite enough for them to be able to kick that field goal. It's about 54 yards, but it gives opportunity to just run the ball, hammer out an extra 10 yards to kick the ball down to the field goal and win.
Twin formation, split backs. For Indianapolis, Peppers on a 2-step drop. He gets pressured, throws the out route to McCormick, incomplete as he catches it out of bounds. 2nd and 10.
Got to be very, very careful. You're so close to winning this game, you don't want to throw the ball away and throw it back to the other team.
The chats is buzzing as this game is close to being over. In the second overtime, Peppers 3 receivers to the stack to the top of the field. Daly down to the bottom. Swearingen in the backfield by himself. Pressure is coming by Mexico City. Dump it off to McCarron across the middle. Picks up 7 yards on the play.
That was an incredibly risky play, so close to the other defender who was blocking the other wide receiver right next to him, but it worked out. Eli McCormick was able to pick up a few yards and move the ball a little bit closer. Just getting them on the edge of probably where they feel comfortable kicking that field goal.
It seems as the longer this game has progressed, Tom Peppers has become very, very comfortable in the offense. He's a new quarterback for Indianapolis this year, coming over from Vancouver. Single back formation. Peppers take another 2-step drop. That pass is deflected. Almost could have been picked off. King Wallace comes away.
You have to be so careful when you're this close. That interception could easily cost you the game. Now they're looking at a 48-yard field goal. The question is, are they going to go for 48 yards?
Most definitely. That could be the tail of the tape. And looks like Indianapolis is not going to play here. They're going to bring out the field goal unit. Adam Vinchik.
If they make this, it'll be the win for the game, and really, a heads-up play by Paul Blake to take that ball back and set him up to make this field goal or have the chance to make it anyway.
And here's the snap. There's the kick. And it is good. That's the ball game, folks. Indianapolis comes away with a comeback victory over Mexico City, 27-24.
That was quite the overtime session. You had both teams going back and forth. Each team had about 7 chances to get that, and it took an interception on the defense for Indianapolis from Paul Blake to get them in enough yards where all they had to do was make one passing play from Eli McCormick to set up them to make that field goal and win the game.
What a ball game, Marcus. What a ball game. Your first call is finally over. How do you feel? Are the jitterbugs out?
Oh, I feel great. It went well for both teams. They both had over 100 passing yards. Tom Pepper had over 200, almost 250. Wasn't the greatest run game for both teams, but both teams' defenses played really well. I think they both like their offenses to play a little bit harder than they did. But overall, Indianapolis came back from that 14-point deficit, was able to win it in double overtime.
That's the outcome of the game there, by Indianapolis not giving up, not dropping their head, keeping themselves in the ball game, making plays on both ends, and this right here, the INTs that Wilson threw today pretty much cost Mexico City this game. If we go back here, take a look at the stats, I think Wilson threw 3 interceptions. Yes, he did. 3 interceptions, passer rating of 41.3 passer ratings and 60.6% on the ball game.
What amazes me is how Indianapolis was able to come back and win the game when, unfortunately, they were so inefficient at running the ball. They just couldn't move the football, and they heavily kept going on that run attack. That could easily have cost them the game if they took too much time off the clock when they were down by 14, or they just weren't able to score. But luckily, their defense played really well and kept them in the game, gave them a good opportunity for them to win the game, and they took it, kicked the field goal, and are going to walk away with a preseason win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I must say that you have to. I think that the game ball should go to the free safety, Paul Blake. Paul Blake plays outstanding here for Indianapolis. Let me see. I'm looking at the stats here. I don't see it here.
So Dan Daly is the wide receiver player of the game for 79 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm not mistaken, Blake had 2 INTs, did he? And 1 for a touchdown? Yeah, he had 2 INTs, 1 pass deflection. I think he had a touchdown as well. I think he was the one who had that pick 6 for Indianapolis in the first quarter.
Great double overtime to give people a nice pre-Independence Day game here, but there'll be more games throughout the rest of the week.
And there it is, folks. Indianapolis comes from behind to beat the Mexico City Aztecs 27-24. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Demond Simmons, here with my analyst, Marcus Dunhill. From the SFL, we're out.